Hello and welcome. Adolf Hitler's hatred for the Jews is one of the most infamous aspects of history. But have you ever wondered where this hatred came from? Was it something he was taught, a personal experience, or something deeper? Today we're diving into the dark origins of Hitler's anti-Semitism, exploring the reasons behind his hatred and whether he ever felt remorse for his actions. Adolf Hitler is a name synonymous with evil, largely due to the atrocities committed against the Jewish people during the Holocaust. But why did Hitler target the Jews with such venomous hatred? Was it born out of his personal experiences, or was it something that developed over time? To understand this, we need to look back at his early life, his influences, and the socio-political climate of the time. And now, before we start, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more detailed explanations of complex historical topics. Hitler was born in Austria in 1889 into a turbulent family environment. His father was strict, and his relationship with his mother was complex. Despite these early challenges, there's no evidence that Hitler harbored any particular animosity towards Jews in his early years. It was only later, during his time in Vienna as a young man, that Hitler was exposed to more virulent forms of anti-Semitism. Vienna at the time was a melting pot of various ethnicities, including a significant Jewish population. The city's political and cultural climate, influenced by widespread anti-Semitic sentiments, likely played a role in shaping his views. In Vienna, Hitler encountered the works of many anti-Semitic writers and thinkers, such as Karl Lueger, the mayor of Vienna, who used anti-Semitism as a political tool. These ideas deeply influenced Hitler, who began to see Jews as the source of Germany's problems. Hitler's time as a struggling artist in Vienna also contributed to his growing resentment. He failed to get into art school, and he lived in poverty, often blaming Jews for his own misfortunes and for the broader societal issues he observed around him. Hitler's experiences during World War I further fueled his hatred. Like many Germans, Hitler was devastated by Germany's defeat in the war. The stab-in-the-back myth, which falsely claimed that Jews and other internal enemies had betrayed Germany, became a convenient explanation for the loss. Hitler embraced this narrative, further solidifying his belief that Jews were to blame for Germany's suffering. The Treaty of Versailles, which imposed harsh penalties on Germany, also exacerbated Hitler's hatred. He saw the treaty as a humiliation and blamed Jews for what he perceived as the betrayal of the German nation. As Hitler rose to power, he began to articulate his anti-Semitic views more explicitly in his speeches and writings. In his book, Mein Kampf, Hitler outlined his belief in racial purity and his view of Jews as a corrupting influence on society. Nazi ideology was built on the idea of Aryan superiority and the need to purify the German race. Jews were depicted as a threat to this vision, responsible for everything from economic hardship to moral decay. Hitler's hatred was not just personal, it was deeply intertwined with the political ideology he was constructing. Hitler's anti-Semitism reached its horrifying climax with the Holocaust, the systematic extermination of 6 million Jews. The final solution was Hitler's plan to rid Europe of Jews entirely. This genocide was carried out with chilling efficiency, supported by a vast network of concentration camps, SS officers and collaborators across Nazi-occupied Europe. Hitler's speeches and directives show that he viewed this extermination as a necessary step to achieve his vision of a pure Aryan race. His hatred had evolved from political rhetoric to mass murder, making the Holocaust one of the darkest chapters in human history. Despite the unimaginable suffering he caused, there is no evidence that Hitler ever felt remorse for his actions. In fact, even in his final days, Hitler remained committed to his twisted ideology. In his last will and testament, written shortly before his tragic end in 1945, Hitler reiterated his belief that Jews were responsible for the war and justified their extermination. Hitler's unwavering belief in his anti-Semitic views until the very end suggests that he never saw the Jews as human beings deserving of empathy or mercy. His hatred was absolute and unrepentant. Adolf Hitler's hatred of the Jews was not a sudden development, but rather a product of a lifetime of exposure to anti-Semitic ideas, personal failures, and a desire to find a scapegoat for Germany's problems. His anti-Semitism was central to his identity and to the ideology of the Nazi Party. The result was one of the most horrific genocides in history, leaving a legacy of pain and loss that the world continues to grapple with today. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button and subscribe for more in-depth explorations of history's darkest moments. Let us know in the comments what other topics you'd like us to cover and how we can continue to learn from the past to build a better future. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.